We just want to provide efficiency and productivity to your company. So that's all about me.
Great, thank you. And then I have Rico here. That's the next speaker.
Hey, hi, good afternoon. I'm Rico and I'm from Calgary, Alberta. And my business, I have a couple of business. First is Zoe Direct Selling. Okay, me and my wife own this corporation. So we are the one who manufactured a natural mineralized alkaline water purifier. And we have some health products. And my other business is 419. What we're doing, we are in a digital marketing, advertising, and printing. So that's my two businesses.
Okay, thank you, Rico. Okay, so it looks like we have more than 10. So what I'll do now, if you see the chat window above you, if you can type your name, the city that you're from, and the industry that you're in, then we'll get a good idea of what kind of business owners we have here on the call. And I'll read them out as you guys type them in. So if you need help, just let me know. I have some exciting name, city, and industry. So we have Mary. Hi, Mary. In childcare from Calgary.
Yeah, so Mary here. Sorry, it looks like Brian gave me the chance to talk anyway. Yeah, I'm from Calgary here, running day homes in Calgary. So I have employees that I had to let go. At the same time, I am with Combined, business as usual with Combined, but I feel bad for the people that I have to terminate for now.
In that industry, yeah. Okay. Thank you, Mary. Thank you. I'm gonna ask more people to give your input just again so we know where everyone's from. We have not just in Alberta, but we have someone from Vancouver, BC, Kape Pilipinas, or Kape Philippine Coffee. That's amazing. Who else do we have here? We see we have Joy, Mark. You can type in over there, and Joy. If you guys want to just type in your industries and city. If you let me know if you need help. It should be in your upper right hand side. There's a chat setting for you there. So we have Rico, Calgary, and 419 Media, and ATBP Canada mobile app. We have Mac. Welcome all, welcome all. So I know, okay, Amy's in digital marketing. Camille's in digital marketing, as is Francis. I'm like really paraphrasing here. We have Arnold Minuteman Press up in Airdrie. We have Joy from Manila Convenience Store and Network Marketing. I know she's doing that as well. Kape Philippines Coffee. Can you type in your name? Your name from Kape Philippines is, oh, okay, sorry, I missed that. So Iona and Paula Cresnosa here from Vancouver, BC. Kape Philippines Social Venture, promoting origin coffee from the Philippines. It's very interesting. Okay, so what we want to do, we want to keep this to an hour, and I think people are going to come in and out. Just what we want to do is to just get input, because it's kind of, as you know, this pandemic is global, and we wanted to bring business owners together to just hear what the input is and maybe how we can help, or if you have input. So what we wanted to do was kind of have a 4 to 5 ratio. And what that means is the first ratio, 1 to 5, we're going to do 10 to 12 minutes to hear out what struggles you're going with. So Mary, you had talked about childcare. So that's a very interesting thing to be talking about, because I know a lot of people have their kids at home but still have to work. That's a very interesting thing that we want to see. We have Mark, Kaizen Insurance and Financial. Thank you. Financial Services from Airdrie. We have another one coming in, Mike. And so I'll leave the floor open for anybody that wants to just chat about what, you know, how it is, what you're struggling with, how you're feeling, where you're at. The floor is open.
So maybe I'll start. Hi, everyone. I'm Joy Tahanlangit, and I'm here in Calgary. Our family owns a convenience store, which is a Filipino grocery store and remittance center. And on the side, I also do some life coaching. And I know it's a struggle for us right now. And for most businesses because a couple of days ago, I decided to just close our business, the convenience store, altogether. It's just our proactive approach right now to keep everybody safe, just because a lot of people go in and out of our store, and we just don't know whether they carry the virus or not. And for me, it was like a hard decision because, of course, financially, we need our customers to keep our business running and to pay for our lease. But it came to a point where I said that, no matter how hard it will be financially, if I'll get sick or if any of my loved ones get sick, then money can pay for it, right? If I die out of this virus, hopefully not, but then nothing, no money, no amount of money can pay for that. And I just keep my faith that someday our government too will step in, our landlord will step in to be more considerate with our lease. And that's why I want to connect with other business owners, this community, because it's a place where we can gather our ideas, because moving forward, we are uncertain how long this quarantine or this virus will be, right? Some analysts speculate it will be months or even a year. And so we have to be more creative now on how we will do our business. And that's why we have to bond as a community and gather some ideas in order to help each other.
Thank you, Joy. Are there any other brick and mortar? I'd like to hear more from, brick and mortar stores, people that rely on foot traffic. Maybe Minuteman Press, maybe walk-ins you get there, Arnold?
Hold on one second here. Yeah, we're getting some walk-ins. Hello, could you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you. So can you just quickly introduce yourself to everybody?
Hi, my name is Arnold Villeneuve. I'm with Minuteman Press in Airdrie, Alberta. We own a print shop. We do printing for advertising, promotions, and all that type of stuff. So moving on, we've kept our store open, but we've minimized foot traffic by kind of getting our customers to work with us. I guess like emailing us their requests for jobs, or we've got this thing where our our franchise has set up some type of video chat where it's kind of like a team viewer where we can kind of work together with them on projects where they can work from home and we can work from our office and work with them on their projects that need to be done, or that that they need to that they exactly need to be done. So we've also had one employee that, it's tough. We had to kind of give her time off because she's I guess she had her son come in from Italy, and she was going to be in contact with him. So just before that, we had told her that we had to kind of lay her off for a bit just until this passes. So it's been pretty tough for us too as well.
Thanks, Arnold. Does anybody else want to jump in?
Yeah, Brian, our business, Joey Direct Selling, we just opened this, I think 8 months ago, last June 2019. And we are the one who's manufacturing our product. We are the one who develop our product, and we have a good sales, I think, until December. And right now me and my wife decided to close our office temporarily. And I agree with what Joy is saying about being in this time we have to be creative. So we should not be overwhelmed with what's happening to our what's happening right now. But right now is the time for us to be more creative, and we have to keep on going. Like, for example, the good thing about doing business in Canada is like our government is there to support us, and even the banks and even people supporting each other. So right now we close our office, Zoe Direct Selling, but the good thing about that is I think last 4 months ago, when I have this vision that to continue my dream of developing a mobile apps for our community. So in that way, we can help each other. So we developed the At Iba Pa mobile apps, At Iba Pa Canada mobile apps. So I think this is a good platform for us to help each other to market and we can help each other, personal business. So at least we have our own community apps. We will not rely on other platforms, because even the other platforms, they have to run it like a big they need the big money, they need the more manpower. But the good thing about this idea, our own mobile apps, is that at least the businesses right now, we are in this situation, but we are going to be preparing ourselves. Once this is done, we can advertise, we can empower our the businesses in our community. Yeah, so keep the faith, and this too shall pass, and we will be we'll be a blessing to other people.
Thank you, Rico. I think so. What I actually want to hear from, I don't know if you guys want to give a thumbs up, or if you guys are struggling with daycare or having your kids at home, because I know we have a daycare business here with Mary, and right now they're all shut down. So I'm kind of curious how people are adjusting to that. So Mary, can you just maybe speak a little bit about what's going on?
Yeah, so thank you, Brian, for hosting this one. First of all, we really appreciate this time of us being from the same culture that we treasure, and at the same time we have that feeling for each other, in the sense that we have found the sense of community being here. As business owners, with what's going on right now, we're the first ones who are pretty much really affected, because we just don't worry about. First impact on myself was, I wasn't worried so much about myself as a business owner. I was worried of the people working for me, because for them, it's about living paycheck to paycheck as well, right? And so when the government declared that the childcare industry is the first, of course, that has to close, it wasn't really impacted me so much, in the sense that I run day homes, so there are only a number of children in our care. So there are 6 people in each homes that we run. So technically, I'm not supposed to shut down, but due to the calling of my staff, who are worried about their own children being at home as well, and not really knowing where these parents are from and what kind of people they're interacting with. So there's really no control as to who these people they're interacting with and what kind of bacteria or virus that the children are bringing at the day home. So took me 4 days watching the news and everything. And then 5th day, I decided, you know what, let's just shut down if this is what you want to do, because it is pretty much about not just caring about the business, because people are still wanting to really take the children with us and pay for whatever you ask them. But it's about the welfare of each family, knowing that they have their own children in their care right now, not in schools, and involving all these viruses going on, not just pretty much COVID-19. It could be salmonella, it could be something else. So putting them at risk, I guess that's the best decision that I could do for them. But what I'm waiting for, sorry, just one sec. What I'm waiting is for the government to step in and making more of an urgent process for these people to get their EI in a quick manner. Because there are millions of people really wanting to apply for EI, and my staff are saying that it's such the same process as before. So there's really no kind of an expedited way of doing things. So I don't know if this is the end goal of this. Maybe we could, I can see that Michael Siervo is on the call here. So maybe he could sign up for us as well. Thank you.
Yeah, that's definitely. Thank you, Mary. I was so two things. Definitely, that's the other thing we want to look at as the Filipino Chamber of Commerce. We want to bring up the concerns. I know a lot of us are waiting on the EI, and I think they are working on things, but it's so new that we don't know, and it's kind of coming day by day. And that's what we'll do, though. We'll bring it up as the chamber and see if there's anything that we can do on our part. The second question was, those who did have child in your care, do you know what they found as a solution? Where did they have their kids stay?
Yeah, honestly, a lot of parents are actually remotely working from home, but handling their own children is a challenge for them while at the same time working from home. So they're really like, I know I can see smiling faces here, but it's the truth. Sorry, I should something. Sorry about that. Ooh, yeah.
It's okay.
Oh, just give me a sec here. Sorry about that. So it's pretty much the challenge there for a lot of parents, even if they're not terminated or not being laid off from their workplaces, but they work remotely. Their challenge is, how are they going to work from home at the same time handle their kids, the young ones especially. So they're actually connecting with me as to how could they put a remedy on their issues at home as well, because it's taking their time. So it's not just because they're working from home, they're free already, especially with their children around. So right now, if there's really no immediate resolve as to how I was listening to the Prime Minister this morning, it doesn't seem to be really there's an immediate help with how they're going to handle the cases of employees laid off. I just wish everyone has a kind of an emergency fund right away that would help them. But otherwise, in my case, what I'm trying to do is maybe take out some money from my own pockets and help them until end of the month, until EI kicks in. So yeah, that's pretty much what I could do. I just cannot keep the day home open and at the same time put their families at risk. So if we could work together as a community, because these are also Filipinos that are being laid off from work in the industry that I have. Yeah, if we could work together and maybe there's some measures the government could put out there, not just relying on the existing EI policies or EI workers in expediting the processing of whatever help that the government is setting out there. Because right now, there's really no clear picture as to who's handling this. Thank you. You're muted, Brian.
So thank you, Mary. Thank you. So I know that the government has an emergency relief program. They have something with the BDC and the EDC. We're looking into it, and we're going to get more information again as it comes. It's new everywhere for all of us. So I just want to hear from one more industry, and then we're going to shift into how we can all collaborate. Maybe there's somebody you can see synergy with in the room. I actually really want to hear from Kape Philippine Coffee, because you probably deal a lot in wholesale. And you're all the way out in BC. Maybe there's ways that can move outside of BC and into Alberta and somehow. So can I hear from you guys how you're handling? You probably do a lot of online orders. And do you also have a storefront in BC?
Hi, Brian. Thank you so much for having us. Thanks for your email. We just got right on time. Again, appreciate this group, this space where we can get connected and see how we can help and support each other despite these challenging circumstances. I'm Iona Fresnoza, and this is Paolo, my husband. We're a husband and wife team, a team of two, and we are a social venture focused on promoting coffee from the homeland. So we work with farmers from Benguet and Davao del Sur, and they are Indigenous women farmers. And we don't have a storefront, so we have been active in markets. So we started joining the Vancouver farmers markets last year in the summer, and we are part of the winter markets here. But because of what's going on with COVID-19, we decided to not join the markets for now, just to be on the safer side. And we're focusing on our online shop. So we have a website, and that's where we continue to get orders. But definitely it has impacted how we connect with the community, because we wanted to really share the story of coffee farmers back home and really have that one-on-one connection with people. And people have not heard of Philippine coffee yet. So part of our mission is really bringing forward a story from our culture. And so while we're not really directly impacted, because we don't have a storefront, we don't have like staff. We still feel that these are really challenging times, because all the more we should be more active in promoting our online presence. And we are working like locally with a bike delivery co-op who can help us deliver the goods within Vancouver. And for our other orders, we use Canada Post, and there will just be delays. I think the other side of things, because we bring the coffee in from the Philippines, there will be an impact on how the next batch of coffee will be shipped here.
Supply chain.
Yes, and for Luzon, I'm sure we all have heard that there's a lockdown in Luzon, and our partner farmers in Benguet can't move like from where they are. They're even senior citizens, so they're not allowed to go from their community to the town to send the coffee to Manila, and then have it shipped over here. So there's going to be delays in that front. And we want to be true to the mission that we've set forth for Kape, which is really to support the farmers. And at this time, they still have coffee that has yet to be bought. And we've committed to buying that. However, there's that concern of it being shipped here. So ours is a challenge that, not just getting our product out, but also the challenge of continuing to support the farmers that we work with. And in BC, like there's all these supports as well for small businesses. We have yet to actually study and look at it more closely, like how we can tap into the resources. But I see that in the local business community here in Vancouver, everyone's been so supportive. We've been doing like just online services. Our online shop is open, and then deliveries, and people are helping each other out. We promote each other's businesses, and I think it is helping. There's even a relief fund for people in the food and services sector. People are donating, people are buying gift cards, so that when all this is over, we can use that to just keep it going. But most of our friends who have cafes, who have restaurants, had to close, and for health and safety reasons, of course, but definitely feeling the impact. We do supply 2 cafes at the moment. One is a Filipino restaurant, and they have had to close. So that, of course, is one distribution channel for us that has closed. And another is a pastry shop that also, for the same reasons, have closed, and they've just resorted to just deliveries and online orders. So was there anything else that you wanted to add?
Yeah, well, in a personal note, I think it's also very important for us to be together. And thank you again, Brian, for organizing this. In our culture, there's a term called pakikiramay, right, or damayan, which means we're all sympathizing and putting empathy to the best of what we can. So of course, for those who are even more deeply impacted with this, we're definitely we think about you, and we think about your business and the people you support with. Of course, not just that, the bigger picture in society too, with healthcare workers, with doctors, with people in the supermarket, with cleaners too, maraming mga Pinoy na cleaners, and there's a lot of Filipino cleaners out there too who are really putting themselves on the line and putting their families on the line too. So of course for us, you know, our hearts are for you, and we're here to support in whatever we can. So thank you for having us this opportunity to speak.
Salamat.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. I really appreciate all of that. So what I'm going to do, if you can, actually, I'm sure a lot of people here would like to see your online store. So if you want to type that in the chat so people will have the chance to look at it. And then Camille just added resources for employment, health, and safety. So you can look at that. What I want to do is to just introduce everyone, and then I'll leave the floor open for the solutions. So we have Tita Alma. She's representing, so these are for maybe for you, Mary, if you have foreign workers, maybe she knows somebody in the industry that can shift your workers into another job. We also have Amy, who you met before, from digital marketing. We'll hear from her. You guys heard from Arnold. Camila has Katigbak Technologies. We have Joel, who's representing his own law practice here. So we have a lawyer on the call. Joy, you heard from, and we have Justin Ortiz, actually is in Toronto. He's a student, but also has a online store to help the businesses in Oakville, Ontario. I believe it's Oakville, correct me if I'm wrong. So he's here to listen in and how to, just to discover what storefront owners or maybe other businesses are looking for. So maybe he can help with his business. So Justin, if you want to add your website, if it's ready to go, and you can let people see what it is. We have, I think it's Kuya Mark Quintin, from insurance, Kaizen Insurance and Financial Services. We heard from Mary. McFrancis is also from Katigbak Technologies. We have Michael Siervo, who owns a few things, but the one I think that's being most affected right now is the storefront, the Jugo Juice. We have Mike, who owns the Panago Pizza, and Rico with direct selling and the app. So now I'm going to leave the floor open. Maybe you guys have some ideas how we can support each other. I know Mike had some interesting things that he shared with us, the restaurant bonds, the dinner bonds. So I'll leave it open to anybody that wants to chat.
Hey, Brian, it's Mike. How's everyone doing so far?
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. First of all, thank you, Brian, Camille, for putting this together. You know, we're in unprecedented times. It's interesting, and I was talking to somebody and essentially said that it's not the strongest that will survive during this. It's going to be the most adaptable. And actually, I'm right in front of another business that happens to be in a location that used to be very, very a lot of foot traffic. It's been impacted. It's in Mission, and it's a new business that popped up. It's called Bebop Donuts. Now, unfortunately, they opened their business at a time when it's really struggling. So I happened to walk in here and started chatting with them, and we started talking about how businesses need to just really embrace this digital transformation. Of course, the brick and mortar businesses will suffer. I was at Chat Time earlier before I got here, and even my businesses have been impacted to a certain extent. But I think now is really a time, if you don't have a social media presence, people don't know what they don't know. So if you're not comfortable being on social media, I would implore people to hire somebody who knows how to do social media for them. Because again, it's not what you know or who you know, it's who knows what you know. So we might know each other, but if we don't know what each other does, there's no way that we can actually promote each other. And sometimes it's just that communication. So I'd highly advise people to embrace this new reality that we live in, get comfortable being in front of a camera, get comfortable talking about your businesses, improve your communication skills. There are a lot of online courses that are for free, a lot of YouTube resources. So again, and if you don't feel comfortable doing that, certainly reach out to a social media expert to help you and coach you. And the other thing is, Brian, I don't know if you did talk about the dining bonds with, it's called supportrestaurants.org. Essentially, just like a typical bond, restaurants are selling their bond, let's say $100 at 25% off. So you're actually buying it at $75 with a face value of $100. And what that does, it provides immediate cash flow for those businesses. that at some point in time, there's an expiration date that you can go and renew those bonds. So I think one thing that we have in businesses is that we have to have this velocity of money. It has to keep moving. And once it stops moving, then we really struggle. So the diner bonds are good. If you are a brick and mortar business, or if you know somebody, tell them to register. It's quite simple. It's a nonprofit. They don't take any profit. But it allows you just another avenue to get out there and be seen. And I know that we have some good digital marketers here. So I've seen already with our chamber, we've had a lot of collaboration. So with that said, Brian, those are some of my thoughts.
Thanks, Mike. I did look at it. And it is really a global resource. There's only, I looked maybe an hour ago, there's only one Canadian restaurant on there. So there's a lot of chance to populate that with other Canadians. And then I also thought that why not include this, as was mentioned before, for other services. Like, I have to go to the barber and I can't see them because they're not open. So barber shops, cleaners maybe that can't enter into some places, and other businesses, I think we can use that idea. And we have Rico here who's starting the app to become a resource. We're looking at that idea as Philippine-owned businesses nationwide. And there's Rico. He's letting us know how we can take advantage of that. You can jump on the website. So what we can do is register there and consider, finding a whole network of resources of different businesses and industries in Canada. And then maybe having a special side that says, okay, we're participating in this gift certificate program, bond program, where we'll reduce it to make money for now. And we'll look at those ideas. Is there anyone else? Amy, you raised your hand, I think. So is there something you wanted to contribute here?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. No, I think Mike touched on it earlier. A little bit about it is that I guess for my clients in social media management, I advise them to stay on the platform. If they don't have social media accounts, get right on it. One thing for sure that you want to let your clients know is where you're at in your business. Are you open? Are you, are you opening later? Are you changing your hours? Now is the time to kind of reach out a little bit more on the digital side of things. And one thing I realized too with my clients is that because everyone's in isolation, for us digital marketers, now is the time to actually stay on the platform and make sure that we help our clients get familiar with it, and at the same time, this is the time to update your website. This is the time to actually reach out and help the struggling business to stay on, we're not just here for the rates or for the money or anything like that, but you guys can tap into our creativity to actually show your clients and show your future clients that you have promotions and you can help them out and stuff like that. So everyone will look into your online resources. So update your website, update your contacts, update your hours, your Facebook, your Instagram, start taking pictures of what's going on. If you're open, people look into that because there's no other way, there's no other sources but being online. So, with us experts or with us in the industry, we can definitely help you guys out with how you want to say it or how you want to word it with any copywriting. Camille, Mac, and myself in FCCA, we definitely are here to give you guys some advice. So so reach out to us. So that's kind of one thing that I want to advise to everyone is some people who are not paying attention, they will go online. So yeah, so get into the social media, stay on the platform. Like there's so many creative ways on how to get your business alive.
Thanks, Amy. Yeah, I think we're gonna get more input on that from Francis. They also own digital marketing. So Mac, if you want to take the floor.
Hey guys, how's it going? Can you guys hear me clearly?
Yes.
All right, perfect. So I've been in the industry for 10 plus years in the information technology. So I've also worked with big companies such as oil and gas companies, and also the city of Calgary, so the government. So I basically seen technology from, from the bottom down all the way to the high end. A lot of companies spending millions of dollars just to, compete with the competitors. So what I wanted to say is now is the time to actually use technology so that you can leverage it and scale your business. Because if you don't, then you're gonna get left behind. A lot of people right now are scared, they're fearful, they're basically, what you could say, they want to slow down their business. But if you think about it, if you kind of have that mindset, then it's going to slow down your business, and your competition is going to take over. So it's very important to leverage technology. So if you're in the restaurant business and you can have clients or customers go to your store, use an app such as Uber Eats or Skip the Dish or something like that, right? So use the technology that you have now that you could use to leverage your company. And what we provide for Katigbak Technologies is that we do social media management also, like what Amy is saying, and also we implemented emails, we implemented websites, we created websites for our clients. So it's very important just to stay online and also keep your clients engaged, even reach out to them online. So if you have a client that is basically like, for instance, let's say you're in an industry of for example, like a coaching business, what you can do is you can reach out to your clients or your customers and ask them how they're doing. So like an example of that is having this Zoom call. This is very, very efficient. And also you can be anywhere. Like look at me right now, I'm at home, my backyard, and I'm talking to you guys. So it's important to use technology, leverage them. And if you can, you'll have our support also on how to leverage those technologies, because we have extensive experience, right? And I just want to say thank you, Brian, for hosting this and letting me speak.
Thanks, Mac. And I also want to say this is an effort by the Chamber of Commerce, the Filipino Chamber of Commerce for Alberta. So with their support, we're putting this together. I want to shift gears, go back to the point that Mary had talked about, and talk more about cash flow and funding, something more immediately impacting us right now. So is there anybody here that can speak to that? I know we're talking about financial aid, but some creative avenues, or is it even on your mind? Are you worried about cash flow and putting delays on payments? Where does everybody stand on, like, is everyone surviving? How, where do we all stand? I'm just kind of curious to see, and then maybe we can find some solutions.
So Brian, that's a good point, because at the end of the day, business is all about cash flow. So, we've seen a lot of potential programs and injections of capital within that the government is planning on providing. If you listen to the speeches, a lot of them are quite vague. So they didn't go into detail on how to execute it. But the reality is that it's really, if you look at the wording, a lot of it says that it's going to be done on a case-by-case basis, meaning a lot of businesses are waiting for this cash flow or this injection or subsidy to be handed down. The reality is, Brian, it's not. So it's up to the entrepreneur to seek out and contact their banks, contact all these government agencies to be able to access these resources. A great example, so if, for instance, you're making car payments, rather than contacting the dealership, go directly to the bank, and you can actually negotiate if they can give you forgiveness on mortgage payments. I know that National Bank, for instance, is giving about 3 months. Most of the big banks, the top 6 banks, are giving about 6 months. So you have to negotiate that. You have to take it in your own hands to be able to contact them. So it's not this program to help spur the economy is not a sense of entitlement. And if you can't, it's going to be very difficult. I was talking to a bank earlier today to get some type of financing. It's not a free pass. It's just forgiveness. Oftentimes that you can negotiate the interest rate. And then, Brian, there are some other non-traditional lending options out there. So you could go to tier B lenders to be able to get bridge financing. And again, right now, I think in a world where everyone is in it at the same, we're all in the same boat. Everything is negotiable. There are private lenders out there who are willing to lend. I know that there's a company that's looking at, it's kind of like a COVID, for instance, if you can't make your mortgage payment, they will cover 6 months of your mortgage payment while you have that time to get another injection of capital. So it's that bridge financing, short-term bridge financing or mezzanine financing for about 6 months to a year. And if you have equity in your house, like what they'll do is they can use that as collateral. So there's a lot of different ways to be able to access it. At the end of the day, you just need to come up with this money. If you have equity in your house, if you do have some type of assets, now's the time to collateralize it if you can. So that's just, Brian, that's just another
Perfect thing.
Another conversation that I've been running into a lot. So if you have any questions, certainly something I could put people together with. And again, a lot of these lending facilities are across the country. So it's not just domiciled in Alberta. I mean, it could be in BC. And again, everything's negotiable.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Mike. There's 2 more people I want to touch on the subject. One is Mark from Kaizen Insurance and Financial to talk about insurance. But I want to start with Joel as a law practice, because I think there might be, Joel, are you there? Can you speak to that? I'm thinking also, what about business to business? So if somebody owes you or you owe them and you're in a contract, are you in, because what Air Canada, for example, is doing is using an act of God clause, which kind of forgives everything. So I'm kind of curious to know if anybody here owes or the other way around, how do contracts work at this time?
Okay, so yeah, I can hear you. Thank you for inviting me. So as you were saying, it's regarding business to business contracts, I think everything is all out in the air right now. As Mike said, everything is negotiable. So I don't think anyone is actually suing anyone, or if you want to sue anybody, I don't think you can actually do it. But the courts right now, I believe, are they're just, there's all the proceedings like trials, even the applications are all suspended, or they are adjourned sine die. So which means it's postponed to some other date. And the courts are open, but it's only for those emergency applications. For example, I think family custody, family issue matters. Those are the ones that you can get a date for that. But anything else, anything is held in abeyance right now. For the courts, you can file a originating complaint. For example, if you wanted to file a builder's lien and it's coming up, then you can file a statement of claim. But other than that, everything, all the dates are all extended. So basically, I think the courts are making it flexible for anyone, because everyone's let's just stop this for now and wait till what happens. So I think on the legal perspective, everything is held in abeyance right now. Like me, I just started my own firm, and it's a bit of a struggle, but I use it for me to prepare. I use it to gain more information. I study, I read a lot of materials, so that at least hopefully when this ends, I'm prepared. So that's what I'm doing. On the other hand, my wife, she's practicing in a bigger firm. I think for the past week, what they're doing right now is just basically trying to figure out things, because most of them are like work from home right now. So I think they're gonna be back in business next week. So at least I'm pretty sure like in this household we're fine financially, if at least. So but for me it's like it's difficult for me to get clients right now, because in the industry that I am in, I think people are trying to hold on to spending their money. Like they don't want to draft their will right now, or people are not really buying a house right now. There's not a lot of transactions that's happening. So I just use this opportunity for me to gain more knowledge, to prepare myself when this pandemic ends, hopefully. Hopefully it happens in the future. So yeah, I think on the legal perspective, everything is very negotiable right now, and they're very flexible.
Thank you. I think that answers a lot. I think everyone is understanding the situation that's happening globally, and everyone's like, we got this, we're working together. So it's nice to hear that from a lawyer's perspective. And Kuya Mark, I'd like to ask you to speak a little bit maybe about insurance, how that's, if there's any input you can get from the insurance field, how they're handling the situation, or even if people are looking at insurance right now, what's happening with that?
Okay, thank you very much, Brian. By a show of hands, can I see thumbs up if everybody can hear me right now, please? Okay, first of all, I'd like to apologize. You don't see me because I'm not a tech guy, I guess. Anyway, so as far as insurance is concerned, this is my input to the group. I think what has happened right now, okay, as business owners, I think we should take this an opportunity to pay attention to your own insurances, because at the end of the day, you don't want to be doing GoFundMe, especially if you're a business owner, you're an entrepreneur. You need to cover and invest on your own insurances. Specifically, number one is your disability insurance. Okay, some of you, maybe your wife, maybe your husband, is employed, so he has his own or she has his own group benefits. But let's just say I would be a perfect example, because I'm not employed with a company as well as my wife. We run our own brokerage, totally self-employed. So I'd like to use the word invest. So I'm not simply talking, but I'm walking as well. We invest on our insurances. So we have our own disability, we have our own critical illness, we have our own life insurances. And if you're complex a little bit, we can talk about corporate critical illnesses. But plain and simple, invest on your insurances. Make sure you understand them very well, because when the day comes, honestly, it all ends up with each and every one of us. If somebody gets sick, if somebody gets disabled, what do? Well, Rico was saying he manufactures this, and you have your own products, right? Kape Philippines, you have your own supply chain. Everything stops on your end, you know? So if you don't have that insurances to protect yourself, pretty much like a safety nets, then you run the risk, a very big risk, that your business has to really stop. So I take this opportunity to pay attention on those. Protect yourself. It's part of your investment. It's part of your planning. And you should be good. You should be good. That's it for me. Thank you.
Brian, if you still have a minute, I want to share a little bit.
Sure, I just want to quickly add one more question for Mark before we move to that. If somebody today gets disability insurance or health insurance or life insurance, will it cover, let's say they get COVID-19, or let's say this happens, a decade, or, we don't know. Does it cover cases like these, traditional health insurance?
The easy answer to that, Brian, is, when you go and get your own disability insurances, because I've explained it earlier, we really need those stuff, and pretty much a critical illness as well, because let me go back a little bit. Life insurances happens below 18% probability at the end of the day. Each time. Life insurances happens less than 18% of the time. However, in your productive years, your disability and your critical happens more than 40% each at any given time. So therefore, you pay attention on those living benefits equally. Now, to answer the question of Brian, the easiest answer for that is when underwriting happens. Okay, so when you get your insurances, example for me, when I have a client who is an entrepreneur, I do not give that client what we call in the industry simplified version. Simplified is pretty much you answer questions, a whole bunch of questions and all, that's it. No, I submit your application, have you fully underwritten, because I want, knock on wood, if someday you call me and be like, Mark, I would like to file a claim, I'm pretty much confident the insurance company is going to pay. Why? Because we, or I, submitted you fully underwritten. You declare everything. I explained to you. We submit it to the insurance company. So fully underwritten. That would answer the question.
Okay, thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Brian.
Yes, Mary?
Oh my God. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, can I ask a question?
Yeah, Mary.
It's Rico.
It's
Eileen,
yeah.
yeah.
My name is Eileen, Enrico's wife. I just wanted to ask Mark, with regards to the business, what kind of insurance we should be getting? Like, for the loss of income. What insurance can you suggest that the small business owner should be getting?
Okay. Pretty much the insurance I'm talking about is hinged towards somebody who is incapable to work, incapable to run his business. But if it's just a loss of income,
like for the business,
it's not based on, let's just say not you anymore. Let's just say John Smith, like what happened right now. He lost his income, right? And it's not based because he got sick or he got hit by a bus. That's why, going back to earlier discussions, number one safety net for all of us is actually whatever government support is available for all of us, right? But as far as I'm concerned, if it is not because of illness or disability, I heard there's such a thing as loss of job. You go to the dealership, you bought a car, and you lost your job. I think they have provisions for you to be able to help you keep your car, because there's a lost income insurance. I'm not too familiar with that, but I've heard about those kind of provisions. But generally, for business owners, at the end of the day, it's going to be government support.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Mark, can I make a comment on that one as well in terms of?
Oh yeah, for sure, Mike.
So a lot of new insurance policies, predominantly on the auto insurance, if you lost your income, again, what Mark was saying is that they will cover your premiums to keep your policy going. Because the worst case scenario is you lost your job, but you're driving without automotive insurance. So you need to have that car to be able to go find a job or to try to, get back on your feet. So a lot of companies have some type of provision that's going to cover not necessarily the loss of income, but the ability to pay for your premiums so that your insurance coverage doesn't cancel. Because if it does cancel, you can't be driving a car without insurance. You're going to get yourself into more trouble. So that's where I see that happening. And then again, if you were to lose your job, lose a business, going back to that other point, if you became not necessarily unemployed, because everyone here is a business owner, that's where you have to be really creative. If you truly believe that your business is just going through a lull and that it's a good, sound business, consider selling shares, consider raising capital, consider looking at bridge financing loans rather than just relying on some type of safety net. So if you really think your business is that good and you're just going through a tough economic patch, again, consider bridge financing and maybe selling shares of your company. So that's my 2 cents.
Additional input from me, continuing with what Michael just said. If your business from level 1 to 2 to 3, then yeah, you get investors. But pretty much if you're a start off level 1, you're it's pretty much like a family affair. I'd say, being entrepreneurs, we're pretty much very creative, right? So you just have to, if you have extra funds, then maybe you can program your cash flow in such a way where your internal funds would be able to support you for the next 30 to 60 days. So that's why, aside from the safety nets we have, right now you could see everybody, all of us could see king, cash, cash, king. So being in business, we have to be conservative and try to be not too leveraged. Otherwise, it'll be very difficult. So anyway, that's my 2 cents.
Mark, can't you leverage against the cash value in a life insurance policy if you do have some type of cash value? So that might be an option for some of the business owners to be able to take money out. I know a lot of business owners use their life insurance policies as a tax-free tax shelter. So now might be a time, if you do have some cash value, to leverage that. And maybe you could take the cost of borrowing and write that off as a business.
Exactly. So from Michael to Rico, if Michael is pertaining to what we call a permanent insurance when it has cash values, and that's true. You can actually use the cash values of your insurances to augment cash position, liquidity, and all that stuff. So that's why I go back to that safety net thing I was saying earlier, and not to use the mindset of expense. Insurances, especially for us, I would always consider them as investments, because everything stops with us, not your employees, with you. You don't have EI, right? Everybody knows that. So for me, I'm a good example. I do not have any other employment. I run my own show with my wife. Can you imagine that? If I don't have disability and critical illness and all that stuff, what's my safety net then? I'm getting stressed. No way. There's no room for stress right now, right? So I take this opportunity, pay attention to your insurances, go get those permanent insurances and save for the rainy days. That's it, thanks.
Thank you, Mark. So we're going to get to Mary, but just before we get there, I want to respect the time. It's 1 hour, but we're going to continue on. I'm going to continue on. If you need to go, thank you for coming. And we invite you to jump onto our Filipino Chamber of Commerce Alberta page on Facebook. We put a lot of updates there. We're going to have resources. We're going to continue doing webinars. For us as a community, we're doing one on Thursday. We have the senior commercial banker for the BDC who's going to come on and explain how they're going to do that with the latest news by Thursday. That's Thursday, March 26th at 5:30 p.m. That's Mountain Standard Time. So if you're in the other time zones, do the math. I won't do it now. But then, and for now, we'll get back to Mary. If you need to go, thank you for coming, but we'll keep on going.
Yeah, thank you so much, Brian. Thank you, everybody. It's great to be on this call. And yeah, go on our website. We'd love to continue this conversation. And maraming salamat, and wishing everyone all the best, and hope you all stay safe and healthy. Salamat po.
Bri, before we go,
yes,
can I just want to tell everybody to support our community with our At Iba Pa mobile apps. Right now, we are going to give up to May 1, okay, free advertising. So if you download our apps, there's a advertise with us. Just fill up that form so that we can put your logo, we can put your location. Okay, we are going to put your company there for until May 1. Okay, that's for free. And the good thing about our platform, our community platform, is that, for example, I'm in Northwest and I'm looking for a grocery or a restaurant. You know, when I go to the category, I just need to click whatever category, and then it will show me who is near in that specific location. So I can go, you know, that is how we are going to, we are doing advertising. So if you want your business to be in our app, just, you know, go to that advertise with us. It will be free until May 1. Okay, and then if you know somebody, you know, have a business, you know, I think this is the time that everybody's saying about technology. So let's help each other, and you know, let's download and share the app, so at least we can help each other, you know, especially the business owners.
Thank you, Rico. I think we're going to talk more about that later on, actually. So sorry again, Mary. I know you needed something, so now's your time.
Thank you again, Brian, for hosting this, and for the FCCA. I'm really looking forward to connect more with our community and hopefully get together with you once the crisis is over. In the meantime, I would like to second what Mark and Michael mentioned earlier about looking at your coverage. So I also represent Combined Insurance. Probably some of you have heard about it. I've been here for 4 years doing this at the same time running my business with the childcare industry. What I could say is that, because you raised a question about business insurance, there are those things like that, but I'm not really in this position right now to talk about that. Definitely, I posted my number there for you to connect, but this is really a great time to look after what you have at this moment. And if you feel like you have some questions, we offer free assessment, no obligation at all. You're not obliged to buy anything from me. I would say I'll help as much as I can with whatever you have currently in place. Just so you know, Combined Insurance, actually, we still move on with our business. We do Zoom presentation. We sign up policies still on the go online. We don't meet people face to face, but we do Zoom presentation, just so you know. So if you have agents you know, or you have coverage in place at the moment that's under Combined Insurance, feel free to reach out to your agent and have them review what you got, if it's something that you need, or it's something that you're gonna use in the future, or if there's something else that you feel like missing in your policies out there, feel free to reach out. If you cannot reach out to them and they're probably not with Combined anymore, reach out to Mary. My number is right there, and feel free to ask questions. Thank you for this time, and really looking forward to connect with the community in the future. Thank you.
Thanks, Mary. Anybody else that wants to take the floor, mention anything, ideas as we're going forward?
Yeah, I think
Mac?
I have something here. Yeah, going back to like investment, and also I guess what you guys talked about, like coverage and stuff like that. I think what's very important is having multiple sources of income. So like if one fails, then you have other sources of income that can help you, like that can help you with your lifestyle, right? So the important to think about it, like if you're an entrepreneur, you're always looking for something different or something new. And I think what we need to do is we need to kind of step back a little bit and maybe hone in to one industry first, make a lot of money there. And once you have enough money, invest in different industries. So I think in a crisis like this, I think what we need to do is we need to be prepared, I guess, on a worst case scenario, so that if it does happen, you're not, you know, in the hoop where you can't pay for your bills. So that's what I just wanted to add.
Thanks, Mac. Yeah, I like that. I like all of this input, insurance, and multiple streams of income. As business owners, I think it's important to talk about these subjects. If there's nothing else, the one thing I'd like to mention, if there's any themes, is what can we do grassroots? There's a whole, how do we get more business owners involved? I know we know other Philippine business owners. How can we bring them together? We're out there on the field, we know people. Looking for input there. We want to see how we can, as a group and organization, move forward and help the community as a whole. And of course, we're not limited. Yes, Alberta is in our name, but we're not limited geographically, because the same situation is happening globally. So I'm curious to know if anybody has input on that.
Sorry, Brian, this might be out of the way of the question that you're asking. Since everyone seems to be wrapping up with things, I may have to go as well. Just a quick note here, like what the FCCA is doing currently to reach out to our community that are pretty much in need. I understand as business owners, we have some kind of safety net a little bit. We could breathe until probably a month or so. How about our fellow Filipinos who are probably just relying on paycheck to paycheck thing, and their employer couldn't pay them anymore, they're out of the business anymore and couldn't sustain the needs of their employees? Do we have some sort of outreach program for our community here that maybe some business owners could help out, even just few groceries or non-perishable items that we could collect, and maybe who they should reach out to extend their help, and who should these people who are from our community needing help, who they should reach out to? Because my understanding is the food bank is closed for a little bit now. Like, what is really our call to action in order for us to be able to help, especially those who are really in dire need right now, as to if they have diapers for their children, if they have milk, those things. Like, I would love to hop in if you have anything, but maybe from this group we could come up with something. So that's just my piece of cake right now. I would love to end that, and this is probably my last share, but otherwise keep us posted of what is going on with FCCA when it comes to helping the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. I love pieces of cake. So, no, I think it's very relevant to what we're talking about. We're really talking about grassroots. I think maybe someone else can talk to that, but what we're doing, I think, is already leveraging our network. There are other organizations that are way more organized to deal specifically with those cases. And I think what we can do as the FCCA is to bridge those resources to the community, because maybe it's not accessible or maybe the information's not there. What we're going to do is try to put up information on the FCCA's websites or Facebook page that will lead you into mostly related, but we also have the social cases within our community page. But does anyone else want to put input? I know a lot of us here are volunteers, actually, so maybe we can shed some.
Hi, Mary. A group of friends, Angie Stojic, myself, and Amy Lowe, we are actually organizing something like packages for our Filipinos who have lost their jobs, and we are looking for donations in terms of goods that you can give to that you can donate for these care packages, and you can drop them off at Angie Ostojic's office. We will be there tomorrow morning to pack all this stuff. Most of this donations just come from our own pockets, and this is a great way actually to just practice our culture of bayanihan. We don't have to wait for other organizations to get us in. This is a way for us to just do it on our own. And if you're looking for a group to connect with, you can connect with me. You can connect through Facebook, Joy Tahanlangit. That's my Facebook page. We can connect through Messenger if you want to do that. And yeah, I really agree with you that this is a time where, as people, as a community, we just have to act. We don't have to think twice to help. We just need to go out there, help, and do the best that we can for other people. Because right now we're still so blessed, and when we share our blessings, more blessings come to us because we are being used as channels for these other people, right? So yes, so for everybody who wants to donate, you may want to donate in terms of goods. Just give it to Andrew Stojic's place tomorrow at where we had the first talk, where we had a talk last February. And also, I have something to say, but it just. Oh, by the way, I will just want to share something with you. Yesterday, another group purchased over $1,000 of goods from my store for them to donate to people as well. And in this way, what they were saying that instead of them buying from these big supermarkets, they want to support the Filipino entrepreneurs, Filipino businesses. That's why they bought from my store, and I gave them 25% off. I'm not earning a lot of money, but then it's also, it's a help for my business. So if you're thinking about that, go to another Filipino grocery store and buy from them. And maybe you can ask them for a discount. They would certainly give you that because they want their inventory to move.
Amazing. I love that. I wonder if I'm getting ahead of myself. I wonder if we can expand on that. But we're at the 1 hour 15 mark. I know we promised 1 hour, so we want to let people go if they need to. But I think I'll message a few people on here later. So that's it. Thank you for coming. If everyone wants to watch this again, we'll make it available. We have it available for download. And maybe if we're all good here, we can put it on YouTube so people can watch this webinar, and we'll see if we need to do it again. So I thank you guys for coming. On behalf of the Filipino Chamber of Commerce of Alberta, I'd like to thank you guys for coming, contributing to the conversation, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys all. Take care and be safe out there, everybody.
Awesome. Thanks, Brian,
I'm just going to read the chats here. Okay, we should continue this. Do you mean now? I'd actually like to talk to Rico, so if anybody wants to stick around, we're going to do another one with Rico. Rico, are you available right now?
Yes. Yeah, sure.
So if anybody wants to stick around.
Brian, can I make a quick comment? One last comment.
So if everybody's, yeah, go ahead.
So this is just further to Joy's point and Mary's comment. So the FCCA, our mandate really is to focus and elevate the standards and viability of Filipino businesses, not necessarily as a community fundraising organization. So our focus is predominantly to help these businesses get out there. Ultimately, if the businesses succeed, they're going to help their employees. But that doesn't necessarily mean that us as individual members and individual people and citizens in the community can't go out there. So I really applaud people like Joy, Angie, Amy getting together. If you want to also look for other organizations, I know you and I, Brian, are part of the volunteer group. It's called YYC COVID Calgary. And it's a huge group. There's about 4,000 members. And sometimes it's better to leverage a larger group. There's some great organizations within the Filipino community as well. And they're more in tune with the actual people within the community, not just the business owners. So I would implore people to connect with those organizations. They got great reach. And what we'll do on our end is just to help that business owner survive. So with that said, congratulations on everyone who's chipping in. We're all in this together.
That's awesome. Thanks, Michael. And yeah, that really makes sense. And yeah, reaching out to everyone. That's amazing. Thank you so much. And thank you, Brian, for hosting this.
You're welcome, guys. So I'm gonna end this meeting. I'm gonna get on a conference call webinar with Rico for those who are in the chamber. We're gonna look at the app. So if you're free now, I'm gonna have a look now. Or who's in here? Who's left in here? I think this is all Chamber of Commerce mostly. Okay, got you, Amy. You're staying. Is this Justin? Hey, Justin, do you just want to say hi to everybody? So Justin, I actually met last year at the Filipino, what was it? The Pinoys on Parliament. He was one of the students who kind of stepped up to, hey, Justin, to talk about social enterprises and businesses. So he lives in Toronto, but we met in Ottawa and just maintained, mentorship roles. And so he's here. Thanks for coming, Justin. I hope that was helpful for your business. And
yeah, no, thanks so much for having me.
I don't know if anybody wants to give input. So what Justin runs is a website called Oak Blog. Is
Oak
it
Blog,
right?
that's right.
Oakblog.ca.
Yes, that's the one.
So in the community of Oakville, Ontario, you're actually kind of what Rico is doing, except he's doing it on an app where you have this website with live blogs and everything. So thanks for coming. We appreciate it. I hope you learned something and maybe got some ideas of how to reach out to other business owners in Toronto or Oakville.
Sweet, thanks.
No problem. Do you have any input? Do you want to say anything?
Yeah, I guess I'll so wait, can you guys hear me? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Sure if my mic's on. Okay. Yeah, like Brian said, we met at a conference in Ottawa called Pinoys on Parliament, and was definitely inspired by his words, hearing him, and what struck me about the idea of social entrepreneurship, being able to help and empower communities around you through your own business. I also had the pleasure of hearing from Michael Siervo as well, talk at the same conference, and was definitely, it really pushed my motivations to sort of pursue entrepreneurship and work towards it. A little bit of what I do is sort of, my website is directed at sort of supporting local businesses within, especially within the Oakville community, just trying to, I guess, build the notion and the idea that there's so much to do within our local communities, and we don't necessarily have to only go to the big cities to have fun or to enjoy activities. And so what my goal is to prevent people from saying, oh, there's nothing to do in Oakville, oh, everything's so boring here, there's nothing to do. So my concept is to sort of give them ideas, give people ideas on what activities they can do, what businesses they can support, because there's so much more within my small town community than a lot of people think, and they just don't know because they're not really looking for it. And so my idea is really to sort of help them find something to do, whether it's like a bowling alley they can go to, an arcade. If people want to go for a night of karaoke, that's also an option. And I'm also part of the Filipino Students Association of Toronto, and so a lot of my sort of ideas come from just being out with them and getting my inspiration from Filipinos and Filipino communities and Filipino business owners that we collaborate with and that we work with. So that's sort of where all of this is stemming
the
from.
future.
Yes, exactly. And this has sort of been a huge help for me. So this discussion that we've been having here has been so great to hear from all of these perspectives from different Filipino business owners. But yeah, no, I really appreciate you having me here, and just wanted to thank you all for sharing what you have to provide.
Thanks, Justin. I think actually it's a good time to rally people during COVID-19. All the businesses in Oakville. Maybe you can be the point of, okay, this is where we check to see what businesses are open and how you can support. So good luck. Thank you for coming, and we'll talk soon. And then everyone else that's remaining, I think we can talk with you, Rico. Thanks, Justin. We'll talk. I think, okay, who's left in the room? I think this is the chamber. Okay, guys, I'm going to end the recording.